Test 1, 2, test 1, 2.
Check. Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve.
Nick Reynolds, Steve Harness, and Cousin Brewski. The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve.
Take one.
I didn't even think about what I should probably say as I crack the mic. I mean, I'm just already flying by the seat of my pants here for today's episode.
Are you implying you usually think out the first thing you're going to say? Because it's always random.
It's always random. I mean, I always have some semblance of what I'm going to I want to mention this, but yeah, I didn't. Okay. I was just, I don't know, today. No.
I'm not able to ever think of something to say at the start of the show because you always throw some curveball that I just want to roll with. I can't come in with my own notion.
Okay, well, we should work that out on The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve Olabrewski. We are back at it for another episode, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Find us on the interweb thing. It's a new thing. We think it's going to take off, so we're moving the show there.
Seems to be gaining steam, doesn't it?
Yeah. TheVocalMinority.net, and we're on any social media site that matters. We're still technically on Threads, but no one else seems to be. So I don't know. I don't know how much longer that's going to be a thing.
Hey, are we on Truth Social? I forgot, dude. Are we?
No, we're not. But did you see Joe Biden's campaign join Truth Social to poke the bear?
I did. Oh, I did not see that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe we should, but I just think it's going to up our death threat quotient to an unacceptable level.
I think I saw a story that said that Joe Biden actually has more followers on Truth Social than Trump does.
That's funny, dude.
That'd be hilarious. I mean, only if all of his fans followed him out of spite or whatever, and then 10 people actually wanted to follow him, maybe then he.
Yeah, they want to follow Joe Biden so they can say "F you, you suck," that sort of thing.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I don't know what he's posting on there, but yeah, we should probably be following that. So,
I
thought about joining Truth, but yeah, I just think one of us will end up dead within a month. So I don't know.
It'll probably be you, dude.
Yeah, probably.
Just saying.
I did see some time back that Joe Biden hired the social media lady, and she's a younger person, and she is like really quick with the snappy comments and that sort of thing. And whenever the Republicans put something out, she's on it right away. And she's got a great retweet
she's a
for
professional troll. She's just hitting back, huh?
Yeah. And they figured that this is where a lot of the campaigning, and with the young people in particular, is going now. So we should probably have some people there that really know how to handle this.
Yeah, it's about time. I don't know. I'm assuming that neither of you guys do tune into Fox every now and again. You guys know I do that every once in a while.
And we appreciate you taking that hit for us.
Yeah, just to see what the enemy is doing. But they have a show on there, and I don't know enough about it. Although I do know this. Judge Shapiro's on it. There's 5 people sitting around a table. It's almost like The View.
It's called The Five.
Judge Jeannie
Is it called? Yeah, I think it's called The Five. Yeah, Brewski.
Yes.
But they have one Democrat on there.
Yes.
And
they have to have,
What's her name, Harness? Do you know?
I don't off the top of my head, but she's sexy. She's rocking those librarian glasses, and she's very smart and well-spoken, and quite often puts the other 4 in their place, which I love. So
she does. It's got to be a really uncomfortable position to just be, tag teamed by the 4 of those morons sitting on the opposite side of her. But she holds her own, and I'll tell you what, I was like, oh, she's really good, and she is. But she holds her own with facts, It's not that tough. If you know the facts and you're well read, you can read them and know what's going on. She holds her own because truth always wins, right?
Yeah, she knows the facts, so it's easy to push back. But you're right. What a terrible work environment to have to be the voice of sanity in the insane asylum that is Fox quote-unquote news. So.
And she's also got that duty to stay calm, cool, and collected because, first of all, she's a woman. So second of all, she's a Democrat. So if she starts yelling, all of a sudden she's just like that crazy woman, Democrat liberal. So she's calm, cool, collected, and just, like I said, states the fact. She's good.
We've all agreed that Hannity doesn't believe probably 95% of what he says on there.
Yeah.
How much do you want to bet that a lot of people on Fox, because it's a good paying job, on cable news, in media, like they're playing a part.
Oh yeah, I would bet almost all of them are playing a part to get money from the dupes.
But what I'm saying though is that maybe while on the show there's the jousting and all that sort of thing, maybe she knows that, or she has a good relationship with them because they're not really as awful as they seem on their show. So when you know that someone is not personally attacking you, that it's a performance sort of thing, that maybe it's a little bit easier to take, you know?
What's that judge's name that I just said?
Judge Jeannie Pierrot.
Yeah, she's a moron. She's an idiot, and she's loud. And there's no chance she's playing a part.
The liberal you're talking about, her name was Jessica Tarlov.
Yes.
Yeah, those two seem to have legitimate animosity towards each other. Some of the other guys on that panel, I've noticed, they just sort of stare at her when she's talking. Like, I think she might be pretty enough to just dupe them into shutting up and let me talk.
Yeah, maybe so. Does it say who else is on that show?
No, I just looked up hot liberal on Fox's The Five.
So I guess it just all depends on how much Franzia Judge Jeannie's had before pre-show, you know?
Yeah, that boxed wine, dude. It hits different, right?
A little cod Bordeaux.
My dad used to drink just like gallons of Carlos de Rossi.
Yeah, Carlos de Rossi. As a matter of fact,
wine? Is that what that was?
It's a wine, dude.
And it comes in a huge jug.
Yeah, like a glass jug, and it's got a little finger hole in it to carry it with. But they sell it at like Walgreens and CVS, like huge jug of wine for like $10, you know. Right. What's the first alcohol you ever got drunk off of, each of you?
Oh, I know very well. It was Jack Daniel's Country Coolers.
Ooh.
I don't even know if they make those things anymore. But yeah, Jack Daniel's made these. They were like watermelon flavored and stuff. And yeah, like so many people for their first drink ever, I needed a Zima or a White Claw version.
Sure.
Jack Daniel's Country Coolers was the cool way to go.
I could see Brewski going 13 straight into Scotch, dude. What were you?
What was it for you, Bruce? What was your first alcohol?
Mad Dog 2020. Now, wait a minute. Now that's not counting, sips of my old man's beer or stealing a little bit of booze off my parents' bar. But I'm talking really drinking hard.
Yeah,
Mad Dog 2020.
Nice.
Yeah.
My very first was Boone's.
Oh, okay. Good choice.
Yeah, Boone's Farm. Yeah, and I think it was a peach or a strawberry or something, and we got drunk off of that, and I quickly graduated to drinking 40s. Did you guys used to drink 40s?
All the time.
I have never touched a 40 in my life.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Oh, dude, we used to get to school parking lot, and we'd all just down a quick 40 of Old E, and then go to school.
Down a 40? I mean, that's a big thing to just down real quick.
Oh yeah, I mean, it would take us 10 minutes or whatever, but yeah, we'd be real drunk when we walked into school. And
oh yeah,
I've had a bad realization this past week. Did beer have a lot of calories? It has to, right?
Sure. Well, unless you're drinking a light beer.
I don't know what's going on in my life, but Dottie and I went to the grocery store, and we got this like 12-pack sampler of some West Coast IPA beer, which Bruce, I know he hate IPAs, but I like the fact that the alcohol volume is much higher in an IPA. Makes me have to drink less beer. So
exactly, you have to do less work to get to the destination.
Right, and I'm really digging this IPA, and I've drank almost the entire 12-pack over the course of a week, and then I ballooned up like 8 pounds that week. I'm like, what the hell?
Well, you can use it, dude. You gained a couple of LBs. Come on.
I got up to 190, which is what I'm supposed to weigh. So now I'm back down to like 183. So now I'm just doing shots of liquor. I figure there's less calories when I'm just doing shots.
White, keep the liquor white. I mean, they're not to be racist, but that's the least caloric,
Oh, good. I've been doing Blanco tequila, so that's good. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I used to drink the hell out of Molson Ice when it first came out.
Oh,
you remember Molson Ice? Yeah, I mean, high alcohol content. You drink a few of those and you'd be buzzing real good.
Well, we've established ourselves as high-class drinkers off the bat here. So from Boone's Farms to Mad Dog to Jack Daniel's Country Cooler.
There you go. It's the liquor you need to know Need to know liquor.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you this.
We interrupt our program to bring you a special.
Here is a news bulletin.
We interrupt this program to bring you
the humanity and all the things.
A date which will live in infamy.
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Need to know news. News you need to know.
Ice Cold Bear. It's Cousin Brewski. By a dozen.
Is that Mad Dog? 40s? What do you
It's gotta be, dude. It's gotta be.
Steve has spent so much time in the bush.
Oh, Steve, are you in the bush right now, or are you available?
I do like to go out back a lot, so yes. All right, need to know news. This is where we tell you the news that you actually need to know that will inform your life, make you sound hip around the water cooler, just good information to have in your own brain to share with yourselves. This first story, this was quite interesting to me. Do we have any James Blunt fans on the show? Brewski, you can just say no. It's fine.
I think I only know one song by him, and let me know if this is correct.
Yeah.
Does he sing "You're Beautiful"?
That's
that is
right.
James Blunt.
Okay, that's the only song of his I know.
That's good. As a James Blunt fan myself, that's the worst song, but that's all.
Okay.
Oh, you are a James Blunt fan?
I am. His that first album that You're Beautiful was off of, I think it's a great album. There's like a good 5 or 6 songs in that thing that I truly dig, and You're Beautiful is not one of them. It's a fine song, I suppose. And if you've ever heard the album version, he swears in it, which I find to be fun.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She could see my face that I was effing high. He says the full F word on the album.
Oh, wow.
On the radio mix, it's I was flying high. But,
yeah, that's right. The only other song I know of his is a song called Monsters. And I like that song a whole bunch. As far as You're Beautiful, not a huge fan, dude.
How about Bonfire Heart? I believe KRLT plays it.
Yeah, I turn it off when I hear that song, dude.
It's a great song.
It is?
I really like that song. He's got a song called Champions, by the way, that I've been meaning to use on this show somehow. He must be a fan of ours. That's all I know.
Yeah, probably so.
So
anyway. Why is James Blunt in the news, dude?
Because he killed Princess Leia.
What does that mean?
Carrie Fisher?
Yes, James Blunt killed Princess Leia. Carrie Fisher, Star Wars fame.
What the hell are you talking about?
Exactly. What am I talking about? But this is the article.
Did he provide her the drugs that killed her or something? Or
Brewski, you're a smart guy. So listen to this. I was reading this today. I was shocked. James Blunt says that Carrie Fisher's daughter blames him for her mom's 2016 death. The singer unpacks his close relationship with Fisher in a memoir called Loosely Based on a Made-Up Story. Who knew these two were friends? But
no kidding.
Yeah.
He says that using drugs with the Star Wars actor led to his falling out with Fisher's daughter, Billie Lourd, or Lourd. I don't know.
Okay.
Let's see here. Blunt was with Fisher the night before she was found unresponsive during a flight from London to Los Angeles. She passed away days later. Toxicology report found that she had cocaine, heroin, MDMA, and methadone in her system.
Wow.
That's quite the cocktail.
Yeah.
Right.
Say the cocktail one more time.
It is cocaine, heroin, MDMA, and methadone.
Wow, dude, that's a lot. That was all at the same time, or that was just in her system?
That was all in her system when she died.
So,
Wow.
why would you do heroin and methadone? Doesn't one cancel the other one out? And then aren't you ruining?
I think it's
your
like
buzz?
binge drinking and then taking a bunch of aspirin the next day. You're trying to balance the two out.
I guess so, yeah.
I don't know if methadone cancels it. I don't know if methadone will not allow you to get high off heroin. I think if you can't get high off heroin, it will keep you from getting dope sick. You know
okay.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. You don't get the symptoms. You don't get high off of it.
Okay.
So maybe she was trying to be sober, taking the methadone, and then went off the wagon with James Blunt here. But so in the book, the You're Beautiful singer remembers taking a, quote, different approach than friends who tried to convince Fisher to quit using drugs once and for all. He says, Charlie, her best friend, confronted her more directly and told her that she needed to quit drugs, James Blunt recalls. He says, I took a different approach and did them with her, pretending to myself that I would be her guide to redemption one day, just not today. And as a result, her daughter, Billie, now blames me in part for her death and no longer will speak to me.
Wow.
So he was like, hey, listen, don't quit the drugs. You're beautiful. Let's get effing high together.
That is a nice take to have. That's just odd, dude.
He's wearing that black T-shirt that says "Rehab is for quitters." You know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I don't know if this is the friend we all need or the last friend we need, because he thought, yeah, I'll just do drugs with her and I'll keep her safe. I'll lead her to a path of redemption, and then she died a day later.
Princess Leia, no more, dude.
It's almost like he was like some kind of junkie Sherpa for her, you know?
Yes.
Darth Vader couldn't kill her, but James Blunt sure did. So.
Dude, that is just crazy. This needs to be made common knowledge. He would become the most hated man in America.
Right. And I like the man, so I'm not trying to ruin his reputation, but here you go.
Let's be frank, dude. James Blunt, have you ever heard him speak in an interview or seen him?
Yeah, he's like a little Scottish leprechaun guy.
Yeah, he's an idiot, dude. I mean, he's odd. He's very strange, isn't he?
Yes.
I mean,
and he's former like Scottish military or something. Like he served for years.
Oh, really?
Play guitar when he was on military bases and stuff.
Wow. I sense a disturbance in the force.
It should be a giveaway. One of my favorite songs from him off that first album is called High. You know?
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. So apparently he's quite the druggie. Who knew?
Wow.
But yeah, he apparently helped kill Princess Leia.
Interesting.
Or General Leia, as she was later known in the series.
Yes.
Well, that is, if you didn't know, need to know news. It's news you needed to know.
This is need to know news.
Oh.
News you need to know. Start the news chant, please. Come on.
News.
Where's Nick?
I'm coming, dude. Just relax a little bit.
I love that he's such an integral part of our show now, and your local radio show. I love hearing him on the waves around town.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's just, you know what, we got to play. This is what I told you guys before the show. I thought so much in the news, obviously, is either the war or we're talking about Trump. So I'm just going to give you a quick 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4 clips of Trump from this past week in review. We can kind of see, what we need to know about him. All right.
Okay.
Our first clip that we're going to hear is Trump the prophet, Trump the scholar. And I will let you guys know that he is inventing new language skills for people that, you should probably know. So This is what you need to know today.
And you know the story. I said, you can't do it. There's no taxes on our businesses. Why are you doing that? Nice guy. Look, he's for France. I'm for us. I'm for us. You know how you spell us, right? You spell us, U.S. I just picked that up. Has anyone ever thought of that before? I just picked that up. A couple of days I'm reading and it said us. And I said, if you think about it, us equals U.S. Isn't that? Now, if we say something genius, they'll never say it.
Oh, we said it, dude.
We're waiting for you to say something genius.
Dude, I mean, the way he describes that is like he just, discovered a new word. I mean, are you kidding me?
I love that he said, what is he, 77, 78 or something?
Yeah.
It's like, I just noticed the other day. How many of you know how to spell us? And I love that he would ask that of his crowd. Like,
totally.
There's 2 letters. How many of you know how to spell us?
I bet at least 50% of them got it wrong.
Right. Tell us, sir, how do you spell us?
And who says Ronald Reagan was the great communicator?
There's no audio of this, but I will mention that I was watching a clip of him earlier this week, and there was a news channel debating on whether or not Trump had put his pants on backwards.
I wouldn't doubt it.
And it was obvious he's on stage, and here's the thing that I was confused by. Like, normally, if you put your pants on backwards, first of all, I mean, you have to button your pants with your hands behind your back. Like, I mean, it's not something you could probably do on accident.
He may have elastic waistbands, though.
Well, there you go, dude. And because on the back of his pants, there were no pockets or anything. It was almost like those pants that would just have elastic on them. Mm-hmm. And obviously they're doing close-ups on it to try and figure out if he put his pants on backwards, and it is obvious and apparent he had a huge diaper on.
Really?
I mean, it is just all bulged out like a toddler wearing a big poopy diaper.
Brilliant stuff. And yes, I love that he realized us is spelled U.S. and also the initials of United States.
Yeah, I'm for us.
He's a thinker.
Yes, he is. He thinks so much that when he is on a lecture circuit, I guess he calls them rallies, a rally circuit. It's we've all seen bands get up on stage before, and they're in Michigan, and they say, "Hello, Cincinnati." Right. You know, like you forget where you are. Trump is not immune.
A very big hello to a place where we've done very well, Sioux Falls. Thank you very much, Sioux Falls.
Awkward pause.
So Sioux City, let me ask you, how many people come from Sioux City?
Like, what does that mean? You're in Sioux City, dude. How many
said
people
the wrong town.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, dude. What a moron, though, the way he tries to play it off. Sioux City.
Well, did you hear the person coming over to the microphone, let them know he was in the wrong place?
Totally, dude. Yeah. And I mean, you can just see him crapping his pants in real time, because that's where the guys, the people that like his caretakers have said, like when he gets nervous or says the wrong thing, which is often, or gets mad, he poops his pants. So I'm willing to bet he pooped his pants.
Yeah. That was some elected official from Iowa that pulled him aside, like, hey, no. We're in Sioux Falls, not Sioux City or whatever it was. And yeah, Nick, I know you've never seen Spinal Tap for some freaking reason, but that's one of the jokes in there, that they always have to put the name of the city on the stage because the singer was always, "Hello, Cleveland," and they're in Detroit or whatever it was. So, yeah. This has to be so awkward for Trumpers that have been saying Biden's going senile for so long that we have, I mean, literally, this is no joke. I mean, there are now 30, 40 examples of just the past month or two of Trump just saying bat schnizzle crazy stuff.
Well, I was watching MSNBC, which is where that audio comes from. I mean, it's been all over the place, obviously, but that's what they were talking about. They were like, you know what? We talk for a living, so I'm not immune to saying the wrong thing or, messing my words up, but the fact that Trump lives in these glass houses and he is constantly criticizing Biden for, not knowing how to get off the stage or saying the wrong name and stuff like that. Like, this is just like you would say, Stephen. John Lennon would call it instant karma.
Yes, indeed. And that is correct. Anyone who speaks for a living, you can put a montage together of them tripping on their tongue or whatever, but he's been doing this a lot, and I think it's gone beyond just making fun of him for it. That, like, there's cause for concern here.
I mean, it's one thing to get the city wrong because maybe you've been traveling a lot, maybe you haven't gotten a lot of sleep, but you would never do that with a world leader or mess a map up or anything like that of the world because you were the sitting president.
Viktor Orban. Did anyone ever hear of him? He's probably like one of the strongest leaders anywhere in the world, and he's the leader of Turkey. There's a very powerful player, Viktor Orban. Did anybody ever hear of Viktor Orban? He's the head of Hungary. Hungary fronts on both Ukraine and Russia.
No, it doesn't, dude. I mean, that's crazy. You don't know what you're talking about at all.
He refers to it as hungry, but like you're hungry for food, and it's Hungary.
Yes,
it is. Do you know what the capital of Hungary is?
Budapest.
That's right. How do you know that? Do you remember my thing?
Because he's probably been
What
there.
is your thing?
I was taught this in like 7th grade, and I've never forgotten it. I just find it funny. I don't know the capital of almost any foreign country, but I know Budapest is the capital of Hungary because my teacher taught me Buddha's a pest because he's hungry. The logic is flawed a little bit because, the name of it is actually, it's not called Budapest, it's Budapest. Pest, yes.
And my brother and I got in a fight because he was going to Budapest, and then he went to Budapest, and he came back, and he kept calling it Budapest, and I was like, dude, why do you keep saying it like that? It's Budapest. Yeah. He was like, dude, I was just there. No, it's not.
Another sign you're not a Marvel fan, because that's a running joke in the Marvel movies, but I digress. Maybe someday.
Spinal Tap and Marvel movies, they are on my list. Sure. Do you think Trump thinks that he's an attractive man?
Oh, yeah. I mean, his level of narcissism, he probably thinks he's freaking Brad Pitt.
Like looks in the mirror and, licks his finger and shapes his eyebrows, stuff like that.
Yeah. His orange glow, his weird hairdo, he must think all of that looks spectacular. Otherwise, why would you be doing it?
Sexy mofo, he probably says to himself, and he looks at himself in the mirror.
Right.
He thinks, getting women the caliber of Melania, that his money had nothing to do with that, I'm sure.
Right? No.
Yeah.
We get 25, 30, 40, 50, 80,000, 100,000 people to speeches. They've never said Trump's a great speaker. Never said. I've never heard it. I said to my people, do you think they'll ever acknowledge I must be doing okay? Except I'm a very handsome person, so I guess a lot of you want to sit. They want to sit and look at me because I'm so, like a beauty pageant. No, it's amazing.
It is amazing, dude, that you think that you're beautiful.
What to me is fun about these Trump rallies is he's speaking just off the top of his head, right? So his thoughts just come flying out of his mouth with no filter. 100%. And that's why that's why he says stuff like that, because he believes it.
Well, they were just doing a story I was watching earlier, and it was on Ben Meiselas over at the Midas Touch was doing this story of Trump has, for the past like 3 or 4 weeks, whenever he's at these rallies, he talks about like, the lighting up on stage is bad, so he can't read the speech, so he has to just go off the cuff. And he's been doing it for like the last 3 weeks, so he doesn't have to read what is on that paper, because we know he's not a great reader, first of all. But he likes to riff, dude. That's when he feels his best,
Oh, yeah. And I'm sure it's easier for him. It's similar to this show. If you don't have to prepare anything, then it's pretty easy to just show up and babble for a couple hours. But
you can say whatever you want with zero consequence most of the time, right?
Right. But are you good at it? That's the question. Because so many people have tried talk radio over the years, celebrities and whatnot, and then they realize, like, it's actually really hard to talk for a few hours and stay entertaining and compelling, especially day after day. But I've seen a few videos of late of people leaving Trump rallies early. Like, he's still up there speaking, and half the crowd is starting to leave.
Yeah. Oh, well,
and
that's
one of the
reporters
sign. The other day started asking people, like, hey, he's still talking. Where are you going? And people have a variety of answers. Basically, though, they're all saying, like, I was hoping he would do the wall bit, or I wanted him to do the Islam thing, or like
calling out comedy bits.
Yeah, his greatest hits or something. Like, I don't want to hear the new material. I hate the new stuff. I want to hear the old stuff. Like,
lock her up. Yeah, I want that. I want some of that.
Yes.
So they're all walking out, giving deuces. See you later.
Now, that's funny, dude. And the gag order has been reinstated in the federal case.
In D.C., yeah.
Yeah, in D.C., so let's see what happens, dude. He's making, he's been flirting with it. What was he fined? Something meager, $2,500, 10 grand, something like that?
15 grand total.
Meager.
Yeah, there was a 5 and then a 10. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And I think it's so funny, in that trial, that's a civil trial. He can't go to jail for that, but now he's somehow managing to get himself potentially thrown in jail for violating the gag order. Can't wait to see how that turns out. There's more gag order violations coming. He can't help himself.
Well, that Ivanka was supposed to be testifying on Friday.
Yeah.
But they've pushed it off because she has a scheduling conflict to Monday. You don't think that scheduling conflict was so that they could spend the weekend so she could get her story straight?
Preparing. Yeah, no kidding.
Yep.
Well, we will check in next week with this week in review with Donald Trump, but that's all the audio for now.
Get over here, Nick.
No, we're done, dude. We don't leave it.
Where's Nick?
Don't be alone in a room with that guy.
Yes, we got to say goodbye.
And we say bye-bye.
This is the only news you need to know. After all, this is Need to Know News. News you need to know.
It's time for another brewski. This one is a crazy brewski.
Well, that's yet to be determined, dude. He's not crazy all the time.
No, not all the time, but a good portion of the time I am. So, depends on if I've had my medication that day, So,
Right.
So we are going to take a short trip to Florida.
The best kind of trip to take to Florida. So.
Exactly. Well, here's the headline. I don't want to hurt you, end quote. Florida man used note to rob CVS. And I'm not going to tell you what he robbed yet. So he shows up to this. This comes from Orlando, Florida. This gentleman, the 23-year-old, is facing several charges after he used a detailed note to rob a Florida CVS pharmacy of various drugs. According to the Orlando Police Department, officers were called to a CVS on Curry Ford Road around 6 p.m. on October 20th. Now, 6 p.m., I mean, that's just right after dinner.
Sure.
The pharmacy employees told the police the suspect, identified as Thomas Muse, handed them a note indicating that he had a gun and would shoot if he was not provided with the pills listed.
Wow. You had a demand list for pills.
Oh, this is actually like a grocery list. And I'm going to read the note. This is verbatim from the note.
All right.
This is an armed robbery, all capital letters. Please cooperate. I don't want to hurt you. You are not to alarm anybody or I will shoot the closest person to me. Please follow these instructions or I will shoot the closest person to me. Muse demanded the pharmacy workers give him various amounts of oxycodone, hydrocodone, Xanax, Adderall, liquid codeine, and just, I guess because he wanted to keep the party going, Viagra.
Yeah. Ooh, I mean, it does sound like that sounds like a fun night, dude. I mean, that's a good list, right? I would imagine the liquid codeine is to make a little lean,
Yeah, a little purple drag.
I would assume he only needed the Viagra. It was just too embarrassed to ask for that. It's like when you're going to buy condoms and you're like, I need some Kleenex, some celery, deodorant, a box of condoms. I need stuff.
It's funny, dude.
As officers arrived on the scene, Muse was seen walking out of the store. He wasn't in a hurry. He thought he was just going to get away with this.
He had a big boner, dude. He couldn't run. I mean,
buy an oxy.
Yeah.
After a short foot pursuit, Muse was arrested while still holding onto the stolen narcotics and his handwritten note.
Oh, they let him keep his note. That's nice.
Following his arrest, officers said the 23-year-old admitted to police that he had traveled to Orlando from Jacksonville to carry out his plan. He confessed to another similar robbery in Central Florida.
Oh, so he's a serial. I mean, this is serial. He's done it before.
Well, and the other thing too is that I think that's kind of that decent sized trek, actually.
Yeah.
From Jacksonville to Orlando, if I had to guess.
Hour and a half.
I'm
Let's
going to
take a
say
look.
3 hours, dude. I'm going to say closer to 3 hours.
I think Nick's right. Closer to 3 hours. Let's see. Well, we're all kind of in the middle here. It's 2 hours and 2 minutes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. That's still quite a ways to go. You're right. Maybe that's where his girl was at or something. Killing two birds with one stone.
Well, yeah, he's going to get the party favors, go and buy and
got the
see
Viagra.
her, and
Got to be meeting someone.
of course.
That's great.
Well, now here's the thing, though. He's facing several robbery, trafficking, and possession charges. Now I can see the robbery and the possession, but trafficking?
He was walking.
He
was walking away.
He had so much of it. I mean, once they gave him the drugs, he had more than personal use. So I'm sure it was trafficking.
Wait a minute. We don't know what personal use is for this guy.
Yeah, that's more than personal use. I mean, that'd kill him.
I remember in like third or fourth grade, we had a cop come to class and, give us the drug talk. And he had like a case displaying all different types of drugs and whatnot.
Yeah.
And he made some mention about the fact that if you had so much cocaine that you would go to prison for trafficking, basically. Mm-hmm. And some little girl in the class raised her hand and was like, but what if all the cocaine's just for you?
Wow. I wonder, is she dead now, dude?
Right.
DOD.
I love the way she's thinking. Like, well, that's not fair to that person. What if you're just using it all for yourself? Come on, sir.
What if I stocked up? I don't want to make a lot of runs to my drug dealer, dude.
It's like going to Costco. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Now, you guys, this is completely connected to what we're talking about here. I'm not trying to get us off on a tangent or anything,
Sure.
but I happen to have a copy of a prescription that was written on August 15th, 1977.
Ooh, for the Big E?
Yes, sir.
Is it? Am I right?
It sure is. Yep.
Nice.
Elvis Aaron Presley. Would you like to know what is on? Now, this is from Dr. George Nikofopoulos, MD, from right there in Memphis, Tennessee. Okay. And
can I guess before you say it? And I've never seen this.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. I would like to. I'm just going to guess two of them. I think morphine might be on there, but I also want to say stool softener.
Oh, no. Neither one of those.
Oh, okay. Steve, you got any guesses?
Quaaludes was going to be my.
There you go, right there.
I forget about Quaaludes. I mean, we don't hear about them anymore.
Yes, we talked about that on a previous episode. Quaaludes just went away somehow. They're in now. So
he received a prescription for 150 count of Quaaludes at 300 milligrams a tablet.
Wow. Oh my gosh, dude. Hey, here's an honest to God question. If there was your old uncle, opened up his medicine cabinet, had a bottle of Quaaludes in there, and he was like, yeah, you can take one if you want. Would you try it?
Yes.
I've done it, yeah.
Oh, you have done it? I forgot that, dude. We talked about this before. What's it like? What's the high?
You feel like a jellyfish.
It's a downer, right?
Oh my God! Yeah, you're just like, yeah.
Okay. I for some reason in my brain I thought Quaaludes was an upper, but
no.
Yeah.
My instinctive answer to your question there is just yes. Someone offers you a pill, yes, I'll try it.
One time can't hurt,
right?
You know, I once interviewed Todd Bridges when I was on Mitch in the Morning.
And what you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. And it was for Tahiti Village, which is this like Vegas like timeshare thing and all that sort of thing. That's
what he was hawking, timeshares.
Well, yeah, because they had a bunch of celebrities that were doing that, and they come on the show, and you say, oh, he's here to talk about Tahiti Village. We'll get to that, and then you do your interview, and then at the end you let them do their little
their little spiel. I mean, how far have we fallen? Yes. From the penthouse high rise of Mr. Drummond to timeshares in Vegas.
Right.
Well, so just to wrap up on the King, he had Percodan, Amytal. Oh, you can't. You gotta have Dexedrine. That's in there too.
Is that a diet pill?
Dexedrine is a central nervous system stimulant prescription medicine. It is used for the treatment of ADHD.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, this just proves Elvis is still alive and apparently robbing CVS's in Florida.
Maybe that's exactly what happened, dude.
This is
Need to know
Jacksonville. News you need to know.
Hello, Americans. This is Paul Harvey. Stand by for news.
Steve Harness.
Drove from Graceland, obviously. So, all right. I hate to keep bringing Trump up. I'm just going to throw this out real quick. I meant to do it on your story there.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
All right. So we all acknowledge the fact that Melania Trump is she the best looking first lady ever, or is Michelle Obama number one? Where do we put Melania on the list of hot first ladies?
If I can get rid of the evil, just by association, I don't know that she's evil, but by association, I would still go Michelle Obama would be number one with a close second, Melania.
Yeah, Brewski.
Well, so we're talking during our lifetime or history?
Anytime, bro.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I mean, Jackie Kennedy was pretty hot.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, but none of us were alive for that.
What do we think about Barbara Bush, dude? What do we think about Hillary Clinton?
Very little.
A little hot granny sex. I mean,
yeah, you could.
I mean, well, what about Mamie Eisenhower?
Yeah, true. What about Eleanor Roosevelt?
The spank bank is, never ending when it comes to historical hot first ladies, apparently. But all right. So Melania Trump is certainly beautiful, but as we mentioned earlier on the show, obviously she's not with Donald for his charm or good looks or anything else.
Right.
I'm not even sure she's with him nowadays. I mean, honestly, when was the last time you saw these two together? So
I still think she's hanging out in Slovenia, finding herself a nice house on the Adriatic, right on the border with Italy, so that when Donald finally gets convicted, then she can just divorce him, grab her money, and hide out in Slovenia.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you think that they're probably doing tonight?
Probably making love.
Maybe they are together, dude.
I think she's in Guantanamo getting waterboarded currently, but who knows, really. But here's a fun thing that came out here. Not even his wife, Melania Trump, was spared from Trump's sleazy, leechy comments, according to Australian businessman Anthony Pratt. Now, Anthony Pratt just came in the news, right, Brewski, for this is who Trump told top secret information about our nuclear submarines to.
Exactly.
He's an Australian billionaire, dude.
He kind of looks like a shorter version of Art Garfunkel with that red fro going on.
It's funny that he is he's not mincing words. I mean, like, he has no problem saying, "Oh yeah, this is exactly what Trump told me."
Well, so yeah, he spilled the beans on Trump sharing secrets about our nuclear submarines and how close you could get without them being detected. This guy apparently turned around and told all sorts of people in other governments and countries and all, so, but Pratt also said in a recent interview, Pratt, who integrated himself with the Trump world as a high-paying member of the Palm Beach, Florida country club Mar-a-Lago, remembers the president asking then First Lady Melania Trump at age 53 to saunter around the pool in her bikini so that, quote, all the other guys could get a look at what they're missing.
Oh my gosh, dude, that Trump is that guy who, like, when he sees her wearing a little dress, he's like, a little twirl for me. Like, he's that guy.
Yeah. Apparently, Melania shot him down and said, I'll do that when you walk around with me in your bikini. Which is funny if that's true. And it makes me vomit in my mouth also. But
good for her.
Yes. He would can you fit an adult diaper under a male bikini? I don't know, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could.
Right. But the point of this little admission is that, Trump's sleaziness seems to know no end, that he wanted his wife to parade around so everyone could admire her beauty. And I have to admit, to some extent, just a little extent, I understand where he's coming from.
Dude.
Yeah.
Take that back. I mean, please take that back.
Listen. I am not at that quite exact same level, okay? I would never ask Dottie to put on a bikini and saunter around. But there's been times where I've noticed people admiring her, including like maybe my ex-wife, where I'm like, yeah, damn straight. She's pretty hot, right? And I have to realize, like, I'm only a shade or two away from what Trump did when I'm proud of other people seeing her. I'm like, you're checking her out. Oh, yeah, damn straight.
This is what I'm going to say to you.
Yes.
The only
Make me feel better somehow, please.
Okay, this is what I'll tell you. The only good that can come out of this admission is to make change in your life, okay? Because...
But should I, though? Shouldn't you be proud of your person?
You can be proud of your person, but these are silent thoughts, dude. These are silent thoughts.
I'm only sharing it with you two. I mean, no one else.
You didn't share it with your ex-wife?
No, I didn't share that I was proud of her. I'm just saying, like, I didn't announce it to everyone. But, yeah, we were at a gathering recently where, Dottie was meeting some, Jamie's new guy and one of her friends and whatnot. And I may have called Nick afterwards and was like, yeah, I noticed people checking her out. And I was like, yep, damn straight. Yeah, she's hot. I'm doing fine. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
So you're telling me now, because this is where my confusion lies. You didn't say that out loud?
No.
At the party? Oh,
no.
Okay. All right. That's what I thought you were talking about.
This is the wall between Trump and I. Like, I didn't announce it, but I thought.
I see. Okay.
So I'm just saying, like, am I that twisted that somehow I'm crossing into Trump category? Or is it okay to be proud of your person? Just keep that stuff to yourself. You don't announce it to anyone but your best friends and your podcast audience.
The millions of people listening right now.
Right.
Yeah, well, you're just proud of your person, right? What do you think, Brewski? You give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
Yeah.
I don't know. I you know what? For me, I think I wouldn't get as jealous or anything like that if somebody happened to be like looking at my lady and she's looking really good. But I don't think I would revel in it. I just wouldn't let it get to me, because listen, she's dressed up, she's looking nice. I mean, that's what she wants. She wants that attention.
I've shared these thoughts with my therapist, and she's like, yeah, that's your ego talking, and we want to keep that in check. And I'm like, really though? Can I have two eyes? Like, she's beautiful. Is that wrong of me? I don't know.
Well, maybe. I'll say this. Maybe I think that it is your ego talking.
Yeah. And ego's part of all of us, is it not?
But it's not the good part of us. Well, you know what? I guess that depends who you are and what you're doing.
Exactly.
That's,
what am I doing with my ego? I'm not trying to become president and slut my wife out to everyone. I'm just proud of the good-looking woman on my arm. That's a good thing, I think, right?
Yeah, I guess. I guess if that's the way you want to look at it, dude.
I will tell you something funny. I was talking to my dad the other day, and he was like, "Hey, I saw that picture of you and Dottie on Facebook together. It's good to see you two together. It's good to see you two together." So funny, dude. Yeah, I know where you get it from. You're so your dad, dude. Again, is it wrong to be proud? That's all. That's a fine line between like pride and evil, right? I don't know. Yeah, it is a fine line for sure. And I'm on the right side of it, right? Yeah, I think you're just kind of standing on it, wobbling. All right, I'll take that. Trump's fallen one direction clearly. Oh, yeah, completely. I'm wobbling. Yeah, you're no Trump. I can decisively say that. All right, perfect. All right.
Need to know news.
I said, oh, Lord Jesus, it's a fire.
News you need to know.
I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Gentlemen, I would like to take you to the skies, to the airways, for a little John Denver sing-along. I don't know if you saw what happened in recent days. It's a local story to me, but it made national news. New details have emerged after an off-duty pilot allegedly tried to shut off engines during flight. Did you guys hear the story? I did hear about it. Yes.
Sounds to me like someone was having a bad day.
Or a really good day.
Oh, yeah.
Could go either way. Again, we're walking that razor's edge. Stunning new details emerged on Tuesday in the terrifying incident aboard an Alaska Airlines plane where an off-duty pilot has been accused of trying to shut down the engines mid-flight. His name is Joseph David Emerson. He was en route to fly another plane on Sunday, and so he was sitting in the jump seat behind the pilot, taking this flight to his next destination. He hadn't slept for 40 hours and had discussed using psychedelic mushrooms, according to a criminal complaint.
That's what I'm referencing, with him having a really good day. I think the dude was either high on shrooms or recently high on shrooms.
Totally. At the time of the incident, off-duty Captain Emerson was sitting in the flight deck jump seat, which is in the cockpit of an Alaska Airlines flight. Emerson engaged with the pilots in casual conversation before allegedly trying to grab and pull two red fire handles that would have activated the plane's emergency fire suppression system and cut off fuel to its engines. He allegedly said, "I'm not okay," and reached up to grab the red fire handles, according to the criminal complaint. But Emerson was unable to pull the red T handles down all the way and fully activate the engine shutoff because of the pilots wrestling with him.
Wow. What a great visual that would be, huh?
Unbelievable. I mean, here we are flying and you have no idea what's happening in the cockpit right now. I mean, that's crazy, dude.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a deranged mushroom head behind me trying to crash the plane. You may experience a little turbulence for the next 30 seconds while we subdue this man.
And I don't know how this works, dude, but you remember after 9/11, they made those so like people can't get in there unless they're let in. So imagine if you would have overpowered them.
That's funny. I was thinking, like, there can't just be a button to shut off the engines, but I guess he knew the trick to get him shut because he's a pilot. Like, wow.
That's right. Yeah. From the time Emerson said, "I'm not okay," to when he exited the cockpit was about 90 seconds. Okay. The fire suppression system on the plane consists of a T-valve handle for each engine. And if those handles are fully deployed, a valve in the wing closes to shut off fuel to the engines. The quick reaction of our crew to reset the T-handles ensured engine power was not lost. The flight was en route from Everett, Washington to San Francisco when it diverted to Portland, Oregon and had to land. The airline said Emerson was scheduled to be on a flight crew of 737 leaving San Francisco. So it's a good thing he didn't make it because, he wouldn't have had the checks and balances. Flight attendants put Emerson in wrist restraints and sat him in the back of the plane. This is crazy, dude. Wow. Emerson allegedly told one flight attendant, he just got kicked out of the flight deck, and you need to cuff me right now or it's going to be very bad. As the plane descended, Emerson allegedly tried to grab the handles of an emergency exit, but was stopped by a flight attendant.
Duct tape this man. And poor flight attendants. I mean, there was no air marshal apparently on this flight, so the poor flight attendants had to do this.
Crazy, dude. Emerson was taken into custody in Portland and faces charges including, but not limited to, 83 counts of attempted murder.
Wow. Yeah.
He appeared in court wearing a blue jail uniform on Tuesday, but didn't address the judge. His attorney entered a plea of not guilty. He's awaiting a release hearing sometime this week. Crazy, dude. Can you imagine? I mean, that's how fragile we are up in the air. Well, it just takes one person to be an idiot, right?
Am I the only one? Have you guys ever just been sitting there listening to someone talk maybe, and you think, I could just go up and punch them in the face. Like, nothing's going to stop me. I could just do it. Sure. I've been on an airplane. You see that emergency exit handle. I'm like, I could just grab that handle. Like, no one can stop me. What are you going to do?
That's what I mean, dude. How many things we do in this world that are so fragile that are just based on, you having a bad day? I can just go do this. We're cruising down the road on a bus going 60 miles an hour. I could walk up and shoot the bus driver in the head or put him in a chokehold. Like, what's to stop me?
Yes, and that's a great example right there, because I've always marveled at the fact that we as a society somehow have been taught to respect the yellow line going down the middle of the road.
That's right.
Like, all I have to do is veer off a little, and we're in a head-on collision, and we're all dead. But we're all going 60, 70 miles an hour, and we just respect that thin little line and respect the other people coming the other way. That, they're not going to just veer over here and hit me. They'll respect the painted line and stay on their side. What a thin line that really is, right?
Yeah. It takes one bad day like this Emerson had. He allegedly told officers he believed he was having a nervous breakdown. According to the complainant, he allegedly said, I pulled both emergency shutoff handles because I thought I was dreaming and I just wanted to wake up. Emerson also stated he became depressed about 6 months ago. So that might have something to do with it, along with the drugs that he was taking. He told officers he had consumed those psychedelic mushrooms 48 hours before the incident. And along with that, struggling with depression for the past 6 years. He just had a friend who passed away. He was having a nervous breakdown. So there you go, dude.
Oh. Well, I'm glad he was mustering it up and going into work anyway.
You'd think, though, that he'd just go and hit the mini bar or something,
Yeah,
just go grab a few nips and knock them back,
Yeah, I like
3-4 Jack Daniels or something, I mean, take a little edge off.
It's my favorite therapist, Professor Daniels,
Comes through for you every time.
Do you guys know how many air marshals there are?
I don't know how many, but I know it's a myth that there's one on every flight. There can't be.
Yeah, there are 3,000. I looked it up while we were doing that story. There are 3,000. And think about this. How many times do we see stories like this where somebody loses their mind on the plane and that sort of thing? And the flight attendants are the only people that are having to deal with them. Where are the air marshals? Whenever there's a video of one of these airplane things, there's not an air marshal on that flight.
Yeah, so they always got to call the cops to get them on,
Yeah.
If they have 3,000 air marshals, what's a rough estimate of how many flights happen each day?
So,
Computing. Brewski is computing.
Boston Booyah!
Here's the answer.
He's going to have the answer for you, ladies and gentlemen. I would imagine... How many?
Do you have an actual answer? I would say, let me guess, but is there a quality?
Okay, go ahead. Well, and this is not just the United States.
International.
The whole world.
It's a great question. Can there be 3,000 flights every day?
Oh, yeah, more.
Okay. I'll go with 4,000, but what's your educated guess?
I'm going to say 50. I'm going to say 8,000.
Brewski.
It says here roughly 100,000 flights take off and land every day all over the globe.
Wow.
100,000?
That's what it says here. Yes.
Holy mackerel. So yeah, I mean, there's got to be at least 10,000 then coming from out of the States.
Yeah.
So 3,000 air marshals. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty lackluster.
I don't know why we can't beef that program up. It seems like every plane should have one, but clearly the tactic now is just convince us that there's one and he's undercover, so you'll never know. But
that's right.
There's really not one. So one out of every, I'm terrible at math, one out of every 3 or 4 flights might have one then, basically. And that's assuming all 3,000 are working every day, which obviously they're not. So,
well, I did just find another one on gaytravel.com. It says U.S. commercial flight carriers are currently conducting, and this is as of 3 years ago, about 5,670 passenger flights daily.
U.S. just in
the United States.
Okay.
So 5,670. So again, though, that's still not one for every flight.
For sure.
We're still quite short, you know.
And I'm sorry, what website? Gay Travel? Is this a what? Wait, what? What is that?
Yeah, I found I went on Google and I asked, how many flights go out every day, and I'm scrolling down, and there's a bunch of different ones, and there's
it's like Travelocity, TripAdvisor, gaytravel.com.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Gay travel, I think they mean like happy travel.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Happy.
Gay Travel Airlines, where we always load in the rear. So. I'm here all week, folks. Thank you.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for the program today, gentlemen.
Probably wrap it up right there, which they also advise on gaytravel.com.
They don't seem to be doing. No one seems to be wrapping up anymore. We've talked about it before. No one wears condoms. The condom business is pretty much out, dude. It's in great peril.
Honestly, it is, because kids don't seem to wear them, and us older folks don't seem to want to wear them. And if you get a vasectomy, you don't need to wear them. So,
I love wearing a condom, dude. I do it when I'm not having sex. I just wear a condom around because I love them that much.
We know you love to wear your rubbers. We thought you meant those things you put on your shoes.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm talking about my magnums, dude.
Interesting.
I like to have a little room in my condom, dude. you know what I mean? I don't want to fill it out. Come on.
You got to grow into these things, right?
Right.
Like shopping when you're a kid. You'll grow into it, Nikki.
Okay, it's the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve, a la Brewski. Brewski?
Yes, sir.
Do it.
Goodbye. See you later.
And we say bye-bye.
Test 1 2, test 1 2.
Stop.